Coming up at 4:30. This week, be ready to make your voice heard as State Question 820 goes to the ballots. Where can you find your polling location? Plus, dozens of people have been arrested and charged with domestic terrorism after attacking a new government facility in Georgia. Who's behind it and why? And the Oklahoma weather continues to fluctuate. What conditions are coming up this week? All that and more on this edition of UCentral News.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Brady Gray.
And I'm Eden Jones here with UCentral News. In just a few hours, Oklahomans will be taking to the polls tomorrow to vote on whether or not recreational marijuana will become legal.
That's right. Here's Michelle Tilley, the campaign director on the Yes on 820 group, about the question and how it could affect the Oklahoma economy.
Our schools, our education system, healthcare, and some of our local governments, especially in rural areas where they just are struggling to function sometimes with their cities. So we know that this is going to be a great economic boom for Oklahoma and give some areas of our state a much needed shot in the arm, not only in terms of tax revenue, but also in creating really good jobs and also the investments that those businesses make in the local community.
And back here on campus, UCentral's Adrian Escobar asks students why they think it's important to vote this week.
We're on State Question 820, and I believe that no matter what you think about the bill, you should definitely vote and get out and use your exercise your right.
I sent in my mail-in ballot and I voted yes.
I think marijuana has a lot of great benefits. I think it's good for people with sleep problems, autism, seizures, and also anxiety and anything else in between.
I think that everybody should have the individual freedom to partake in recreational if they want.
If you want to normalize it, legalize it, do you. Amen.
And the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. To find your poll location, you can log into your voter portal, on the Oklahoma Election Board website.
Yesterday, dozens of men attacked the site of a police training center near Atlanta. And since, more than 20 people have been charged with domestic terrorism.
Yesterday, a group of over 100 masked individuals launched an organized attack on a construction site near Atlanta, brandishing deadly weapons.
Armed with fireworks, rocks, Molotov cocktails, and other device, and launched a coordinated criminal attack against officers that were at that location. The officers adjusted quickly to ensure their safety, held the position until additional officers arrived from DeKalb County, from the Georgia State Patrol, and then moved back in to make arrests into the area. The
site they attacked is the future home of the new Atlanta Public Safety Training Center, a facility for training EMS, firefighters, and police. The group reportedly came from a concert the night before, put on by the environmental group Defend the Atlanta Forest, in protest of the facility's construction. There has not been a direct link between the group and the attack at this time. Dozens of the attackers were arrested and charged with domestic terrorism by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and they expect more arrests to come in the near future.
At this time, no representatives from Georgia's 13th district, which contains Atlanta, have commented on the attack. However, many conservative representatives, have all been blaming the extremist group Antifa. The GSBI is currently leading the investigation and will keep you updated as it develops.
And a gunman has kidnapped 4 U.S. citizens in Mexico. The citizens crossed into Mexico to buy medicine, where they then got caught in a crossfire between 2 armed groups. The 4 were then loaded into the back of a truck in broad daylight. Footage here shows Mexico's president during a briefing this morning where he stated that his government is working on finding the 4 Americans, and the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for the victim's return.
And yet another Norfolk Southern train has derailed in Ohio, this time near Springfield. The freight was en route to Birmingham, Alabama, when 28 of its cars derailed. Officials said there were no spills from the cars, but this second derailment continues to raise questions regarding the first incident about environmental practices in the United States. UCentral's Ainsley Martinez has more.
A train in East Palestine, Ohio derailed, sparking conversations about the United States' environmental practices. Environmental economics professor Travis Roach explained some of the repercussions of the incident.
We're not often confronted with the downstream or the externality effects of a lot of our consumption, but from what I understand, a lot of this was plastic pollution, basically plastic residue, plastic resins that in mass are very harmful. And it is a byproduct of our consumption of everyday goods.
In 2018, the Trump administration repealed a 2014 safety rule for high-hazard cargo trains.
That was a regulatory policy that was removed in this kind of sweeping, broad effort to have more deregulation. Well, this is what happens when you have more deregulation, is that we've taken off some of the guardrails.
Now these trains that are causing environmental concerns are not the kind of trains you're taking to go place to place. And tracks and things like that are not of concern. What we're talking about is trains going on railroads such as these that are carrying cargo and goods, and a lot of times chemicals and plastics that go into our everyday goods. Roach said he plans to discuss the issue with students in his environmental classes. He said while environmental struggles do not get covered as much by the media, they are important because they affect everyone. Reporting in Edmond, Oklahoma, I'm Ainsley Martinez with UCentral News.
And the weather continues to be very up and down right now, Eden.
Yeah, you never know with Oklahoma weather. We're going to take our first weather look with Destiny right now.
Good evening, Broncos. I hope you enjoyed this warm weekend we had. Today was pretty warm. It was 67 degrees out. But unfortunately, as you probably saw, the sun wasn't out. So if you were out earlier today, you noticed it was nice and warm, but there was no sun in the sky. It wasn't too windy today either. The winds are blowing north at 12 miles per hour, so not too strong. And then the humidity rate is 45%. And then it feels like 64 out, which is pretty nice. And then moving on to tonight. So tonight, it's not going to get too cold, which is the first time we're seeing this in a while. It's still going to be pretty cloudy out. And then the wind is going to be about the same. It's going to be somewhere between 7 to 14 miles per hour blowing northeast, and then the humidity rate is going to stay the same. And then luckily there is no chance of rain tonight, but don't get too excited because later on this week we're going to have a ton of rain. That's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Destiny. And today, Oklahoma Senator Paul Rosino hosted a sunrise remembrance ceremony at the state capitol for Oklahomans who have lost their life to COVID-19. Here's Rosino on COVID and the ceremony.
No matter what your race is, it doesn't matter what your religion is. This disease has affected everyone, from children to the elderly and to people in their 20s and 30s. And so this is just an opportunity to remember those we have lost in the last 2.5 years.
Rosino has personal experience with the virus as he lost his son to COVID in 2021. Today would have been his son's 36th birthday.
And back on campus, UCO's annual Big Event is coming up, and applications are due this Friday, March 10th. Big Event is a way for UCO students, faculty, and alumni to give back to their community by doing volunteer work like trash cleanup, yard work, or painting. Big Event typically sees anywhere between 600 to 800 students each year with over 100 service sites around the metro. You can apply online on the UCOR website.
And that weather looking pretty decent today. The traffic as well not looking very heavy.
Yeah,
Eden.
take a look at that traffic cam. We're going to get our full weather forecast up next.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the Mass Comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Good evening, Broncos. Welcome back. So as you saw, today was pretty warm out, especially here in the Edmond area. So let's look around the state to see what the temperature is going to be like statewide. So we'll start up in Guymon. So up in Guymon, it's going to be below freezing today. I'm not jealous of them because I, for one, love the warmer weather. It's going to be 37 down in Woodward, 43 in Clinton, and then 47 down in Altus. And then over in Lawton, it's going to be 50 degrees, and then Ardmore is going to be 53. And then Idabel is going to be the warmest part of the state tonight. It's going to be 57 degrees. So that's actually pretty warm, especially for a night this time of year. And then moving up to McAllister, McAllister will also be 50 degrees tonight. And then the OKC area is going to be 51 degrees. Moving up into Enid will be 44. And then Ponca City, it's going to be really, really cold there tonight. It's going to be 22 degrees. And then Tulsa is going to be 45 and 44 up in Miami, Oklahoma. So then we'll just move on to our 7-day forecast. So as you can see, there's going to be quite a bit of rain this week. I know I love the rain, but we'll start with Monday. So today it was 67 degrees out. It was pretty warm. It was really cloudy though. And then as we look on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there are all chances of rain those days. So if you're going to be out those days, just make sure you're checking the weather. Know if you need to have an umbrella or a raincoat with you. It's going to be 62 degrees tomorrow, and then the temperature is going to drop a little. Still not going to be too cold, especially for this time of the year. And it's going to be 58 degrees with a 60% chance of rain, and then Thursday also has a 60% chance of rain, and it's going to be 68 degrees. And then moving on to the weekend, so Friday is going to be sunny. Finally, the sun is going to finally come out after the 4 days of rain and cloudiness, and it's going to be 56 degrees out, so that's going to be nice. But then going back into this weekend, it is going to be 56 and 59 degrees. I know I'm pretty excited about the weather this week because it's supposed to get a little warmer next week towards spring break, which I'm really excited about. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm a little more excited about the rain for sure, weather. Destiny. I prefer it, certainly.
I know you're team cold weather.
Oh, for sure. I'm not right. That's just what I want.
No, it's
but
team warm weather for the win,
with that rain Wednesday and Thursday, polling places is going to be a big issue. Keep in mind where you'll be, whether it's indoors or if the line's going to be going outdoors as well.
For sure. Just keep updated on your weather app. You definitely don't want to get rained on. Bring an umbrella for sure.
Absolutely. Exactly. And Destiny, you talked about next week for spring break. What are kind of the inklings, other than that warm weather, that you've been seeing on the much further out forecast?
I don't know much. I just know the temperature is supposed to start picking up around Monday next week. So luckily, it's still going to be about 60s, 70s. So like not like anything super warm like 80s, but it's going to be a little warmer than this week. So that's pretty nice.
Yay.
Thank you very
much. If you have
much.
any St. Patrick's Day plans, looks like the weather's going to be good.
No kidding. But thank you very much for the weather, Destiny. Coming up in social media, Twitter is down right now. Will the company be able to fix their third issue this month?
And comedian Chris Rock is opening up about the Oscar slap from last year. UCentral's Emma Birch will have what Rock has to say and more. Stay tuned.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah! Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back, Broncos. I'm Emma Birch, and here's your social media update. Twitter experienced a major bug today that affected lots of users. Many users tried to see photos or links, but were only shown an error screen instead. Others weren't even able to look at any tweets. The company did take full responsibility, and the CEO, Elon Musk, said that the issue will be fixed shortly. And this is a third major glitch in under a month. The users who were able to use a tweet used hashtag #TwitterDown with angry posts about how annoyed they were with the glitch. The hashtag was used over 10,000 times and is trending to number 5 right now. TikTok CEO is defending his app and the ties to China. The CEO Chu defended the world's beloved app at Harvard today, saying the app creates no issues with their ties to China. This comes weeks before he is scheduled to testify before Congress. He said that U.S. user data is not being used in China. And if there were any activities such as spying, it is not from China. It is from the U.S. because they control the data from the app here in the country. Creed came out this weekend in theaters and it did outstanding in the box office numbers. CNN's David Daniel has more.
This place, it is yours.
Jesus Revolution fell from 3rd to 5th place, finding $8.7 million. Demon Slayer to the Swordsmith Village, a collection of 3 anime TV episodes presented in theaters, took 4th place with $10.1 million. Cocaine Bear lost some of its buzz, but took 3rd place on ticket sales of $11 million.
So you've been studying the quantum realm.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania lost the top spot in its 3rd weekend out. $12.5 million gave the Marvel movie a domestic total of $187 million.
It's a fight, it's a battle.
A first-round knockout for Creed 3. The latest film in the boxing franchise, the directorial debut of star Michael B. Jordan, exceeded expectations, opening with $58.7 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Comedian Chris Rock is opening about the infamous slap at the Oscars last year in his new live stand-up show on Netflix last night. Rock explained how he was a big supporter of Smith before the slap and is now the complete opposite. The comedian also answered to the public of why he didn't press charges. He said, quote, "I had parents, I was raised," end quote. He said he thinks the slap had more to do with Smith's relationship with his wife than his own relationship with Rock himself. You can now watch the show on Netflix. Guys, I haven't seen it yet, but from clips I've seen of just what he has said, there's a lot of detail to it, and I need to go watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. I still need to watch it. I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan, and Chris Rock is on a lot of people's just Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
So the fact that something like this happened to him, for him to get that kind of material out of it, this could be like a next level special.
I mean,
for sure.
I'm glad that he's finally speaking up about it. I mean, it really took the world by storm. I honestly thought it was fake when I watched it the first time.
I would have swore that it was fake. Emma, what were you thinking when you saw it last year? I know we all kind of remember where we were.
We were all shocked.
I thought it was staged. I was sitting with my parents, and all of a sudden, I just see him come up and slap Chris Rock. And the entire time I was thinking, someone just made a lot of money because this isn't real. And then we find out that it is real.
Right.
And I don't know, it just took a lot of time for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me to process it, especially being on a huge national stage like that.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Certainly. Absolutely. Thank you so much for social media, Emma. But coming up, the UCO basketball team is on their way to nationals.
And plus, the Thunder got a good win last night. Jaden Ford has that and more up next. Stay tuned.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Sorry about that. We had technical difficulties with our mic. So starting back with the UCO basketball team, the UCO men's basketball team is heading to nationals, and Central will go into the tournament as a number 3 seed, and they will have to go on the road to face an unfamiliar opponent in Minnesota Duluth. The Broncos are looking to build off a spectacular season where they finished the year 26-5. However, over the weekend, UCO did lose the MIAA championship to Northwestern Missouri, 61-53. However, I think this team will use it as fuel going into the playoffs. This team is well coached with many players who have big game experience. I think this team will be ready to make a run. Good luck, guys. And the number 10 UCO baseball team started the season strong and looks to have no sign of slowing down. Central is now 5 games in the MIAA plays and undefeated during that time. On Sunday, the Broncos played Rogers State on the road in the second out of a 3-game series, winning the game 5-1. I know it's a little early, but this team is looking very strong and one of the best in their conference. Good luck on the rest of the season and keep it up. And switching over to the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder have been struggling lately. Coming out of the All-Star break, the team is hit with multiple injuries, losing forward Kenrich Williams and All-Star guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's been sidelined until last night. And then Shai came back last night and had 38 points and 7 rebounds in his return for a 5-game absence. The Oklahoma City Thunder have led the Jazz all the way, and they beat them 129-119 on Sunday. SGA was definitely feeling himself last night, and usually after a win, he has a very interesting caption on Instagram. And yesterday, after beating the Jazz, he stated that he felt like he is back, like he's never left. This young team is so exciting. I cannot wait to see what the future holds. Go Thunder. And with the NFL, free agency is starting, and there will be multiple big names on the move. Ex-Raiders quarterback Derek Carr signed with the New Orleans Saints this past season, and Derek Carr reunited with his best friend and former teammate Davante Adams. Unfortunately, the duo did not work out, and Carr has moved on. Both sides seem to be happy and needed a fresh start. And for all the Saints fans out there, I know you're hoping he plays like a new car and not a used one. Brady, I know you're a Raiders fan, and with Derek Carr coming over, how do you feel about that?
Step out of the way. I feel a certain way about what the Raiders did to him, but he always did well by us. Jaden, I know you're a Seahawks fan. What are you hoping they do in free agency?
I'm hoping we stick with Geno and build the team, man. We're young, and I think we'll be okay without a new guy.
I know we have our ups and downs as those fans, but hey, at least we're not Cowboys fans.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm good over here. I'm going to stay with my Hawks.
Anyway,
Yeah.
on the other side, thank you so much, Jaden. On the other side, we got our last look at weather. Keep it here.
And when we come back, one of OKC's most vibrant entertainment districts is getting a new addition. Stay tuned.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
And I know it's a little bit far away, but it looks like we're going to get some later sunsets coming into next weekend with my favorite holiday, one of them, daylight savings.
It's a shame that we don't gain an hour. Instead, we're losing an hour, so you might have to go bed a little earlier.
Yeah, but your days are longer, and it's like summertime.
I agree
stretched
there.
out.
I agree there. And all those
great.
summertime vibes might be coming up here shortly in weather forecasts. Let's look at our last look with Destiny.
Welcome back. So I'm just going to give you some more of your weather headlines. So this week there is some chances of rain and thunderstorms, so that's not that fun. Those storms are supposed to hit Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So if you're going to be out those days, make sure to just have an umbrella with you or a raincoat because it is going to be pretty rainy. And then luckily, it's looking like the temperatures are going to start picking up not this week, but next week. So if you're going to be in Oklahoma, Edmond area for spring break, you might have a warm surprise in for you. And then lastly, since it is Women's History Month, did you know that approximately 14% of the active armed forces today are women, which you wouldn't think is a lot, but if you look back in 1950, it was less than 2%. So that is a pretty big increase. That's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Destiny, with our weather. But right now, a new Bricktown attraction has been approved, and work is set to start on a brand new bar called the Truck Yard.
That's right. The Truck Yard has locations in Houston and Dallas and has been described as an adult playground with its canal location, live music, and food trucks.
Just another reason to get down to Bricktown.
Bricktown's just got everything, and that sounds really exciting.
It's one of the best little kind of districts in the entire Midwest, kind of one of our little hidden secrets we have here. So nobody say anything to any of the national people. I'd like to keep it that way.
That's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Eden Jones.
Thank you very much. I'm Brady Gray. Have a good one, Edmond.